prosecutors say 59 people have been investigated in these schemes so far. Americans at large stole tens of billions of forms of aid during the pandemic all over the country. Minnesota's fraud scandal stands out, according to federal auditors. What are you hearing from investigators right now?
Well, I've been following the cases closely as they've gone through the courts, and we know that there are more indictments possibly coming. I think that number might go up to 73 is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Can you shed any light on why the fraud got so out of control in Minnesota?
I think what happened is that, you know, when you have these kind of new programs that are designed to help people, you're oftentimes relying on third parties to be able to facilitate. And I just think that a lot of the COVID programs that were set up, they were set up so quickly that a lot of the guardrails did not get created.
No one has to, pay the price for that. It's the same.
If you're over 40 and you're not dermaplaning, you're making a big mistake. This thing has completely won the battle with facial hair. My skin stays soft and glowing for weeks, and my hair does not grow back thicker or quicker at all. It's like I never had hair there in the first place. The only thing is it sells out like crazy every time it's restocked, but I'll let you in on a secret. You can buy it straight from the manufacturer and unlock a huge discount today. Plus, there's a 30-day guarantee. Honestly, you need to try it and see the difference for yourself. I've literally never been so smooth for this long. Ladies, meet the Sonic Smooth Pro Plus. It's a dermatologist-approved sonic dermaplaning tool.
Somalis in Minnesota changed. I mean, these are, and so of course he's been
is committing acts of is joined us now. Joining me now is Representative Ilhan Omar. Of the great state of Minnesota, the 5th district, the Fighting Five. Thank you so much for being here, Congresswoman. I know we were going back and forth with your team trying to move mountains to get you here. It was just so important for me as a daughter of Africa to a daughter of Africa, and as an American to an American, and as a Black woman to a Black woman. I just want to get your reaction to that man calling you garbage and also maligning every Somali, and it is not Somalians, Donald Trump, it's Somali. Read a book. Every Somali in the state of Minnesota. Your thoughts?
Well, it is joy to be with you. Joy, thank you so much for having me. I mean, what can you say? You know this man is bigoted. We know that he is hateful. We know he's xenophobic. We know he's Islamophobic. You and I remember had a conversation when he called the African nations shitholes. He talked about Haitians eating cats and dogs. And it's frankly hilarious in many ways, because I don't think he thinks, right? And you say read a book. I don't think he reads. I don't think he has the curiosity to know those things. And I laugh at the fact that he says, I complain about the Constitution. I'm not complaining about the Constitution. I'm complaining about you not following the Constitution. For the love of God. Like, you need to follow the Constitution. I'm a lawmaker. I'm your check and balance in the legislative branch. Like, I want you to follow the Constitution. And so, of course, he's been working really hard to deflect from the fact that he might have potentially committed war crimes. He's deflecting from the fact that he's pardoning narco traffickers and people who have terrorized their own country. He's deflecting from the fact that he hasn't addressed the economy. And he's deflecting from the fact that he has overseen a pedophile protection party. And so, to me, I know that those of us who are Somali in this country see ourselves as Americans. That's what our passport says. That's what our nationality is. And we know that we are protected by the 14th Amendment. We know that we're not going anywhere. And there is no way, I mean, he needs to just, I know he says he hasn't met me, maybe he should spend 5 minutes with me, because then he would know that as Somalis, we are never intimidated, and, we're never going to feel like our esteem or confidence is shaken by a bigoted fool, making a mockery of the White House, of our nation, and of the presidency.
And, thank you for those comments. And I'm glad you're able to laugh about it. I have to tell you, I was furious. Like, I heard it and my face almost fell off like Kristi Noem in South Park. You know what I mean? Like, it's so purely racist. And I was equally angry.
Can you give any kind of time?
We don't want them. We don't want those people. We have enough problems. We don't want those people.
Is that a year, 2 years?
No time limit.
And then
but it could be a long time.
You said that.
We don't want those people. Do you understand that?
I understand.
You understand it?
I understand.
Who are you with?
I'm with News Nation. So
okay,
my
News
name's
Nation.
Lindsay.
News Nation. Great. Right. Let me just tell you something. We don't want those people. Does that make sense? You know why we don't want them? Because many have been no good, and they shouldn't be in our country.
What do you mean by those people? Can you clarify?
The people from different countries that are not friendly to us, and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no police. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want them.
What are you talking about? How many countries, roughly?
You got to talk up.
She said how many countries?
Is there a list of...
Well, I guess we gave you 19, right?
Okay.
And there's probably more than that.
Is that what you mean when you mean third world countries, those 19?
No, I don't think they're all third world, but in many cases they are third world. They're not good countries. They're very crime-ridden countries. They're countries that don't do a good job. They're countries that don't register from the standpoint of success. And we, frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
When you talk about
and I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out of our country.
On top of that, in that same post, you mentioned Tim Walz, and you called him what many Americans do find an offensive word, retarded. Do you stand by that claim of calling Tim Walz retarded?
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with him. Absolutely, sure.
You don't think that...
You have a problem with it? You know what? I think there's something wrong with him. Anybody that would do what he did, anybody that would allow those people into his state and pay billions of dollars out to Somalia. We give billions of dollars to Somalia. It's not even a country because it doesn't function like a country. It's got a name, but it doesn't function like a country. Yeah, there's something wrong with Walz.
Mr. President, naturalize some American citizens. Can you talk about...
You mean people that are in here that shouldn't be here?
Well, that became Americans. Are you trying
to
revoke
their citizenship? Yeah, we have criminals that came into our country and they were naturalized maybe through a Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I'm not sure that I do, but if I do, I would denaturalize absolutely.
What do you mean by
Dan, do you have a question? Yeah.
What do you mean?
It means get people out that are in our country. Biden as the worst president in the history of our country, but the single biggest thing he did was allow millions of people into our country that shouldn't be here. Drug dealers, prisons were opened up and allowed to come into our country. You take a look at the people that were allowed to come into our country. We're paying a big price for it, and we will for years to come, including the recent killer of two wonderful National Guards people. And I'll tell you what, that animal should not have been allowed to come into our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay.
Founded after 9/11 because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
Omar incorrectly stated when CARE was founded, but that's not what people are upset about. It's these 4 words.
Some people did something.
Omar's critics say those words downplayed the massive 9/11 tragedy, and some questioned her loyalty to America.
She does not describe a terror attack by terrorists on the United States, but some people did something.
A lot of people are upset about this.
Omar, although she did not directly respond to the reaction her 4 words received, did go on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert to say this.
I took an oath to uphold the Constitution. I am as American as everyone else is.
The backlash she received wasn't just on Fox and Friends, it was also on Twitter. GOP chairwoman Ronna McDaniel called Omar anti-Semitic and anti-American. Minnesota Senator Tina Smith quickly jumping to defend Omar, calling the questioning of Omar's patriotism dangerous to not just Omar's safety, but also the Constitution. Omar, one of the first 2 Muslim women to serve in Congress, has been surrounded in controversy recently, and she believes it's because of her beliefs.
You're talking about immigrants, you're talking about refugees, women of color, people of color, minorities, and I just happen to have Muslims specifically, and I just happen to embody all of those identities.
Sharon Yu, Carol 11 News.
She's accused the president of racism. But on Capitol Hill, freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is in no mood to talk about any of it.
The president said that you should resign and the vice president said you should be held accountable for your views. Can you respond to that?
No, thank you.
Then, after her whole life against Jews, Muslims, indigenous, immigrants, black people, and more. I learned from people impacted by my words, when will you? Omar took strong exception.
This morning you said the president trafficked.
What is wrong with you?
I'm asking you a question about your tweet. You had a tweet saying the president trafficked in hate.
Yes, I tweeted. There's a response. You can run that and have a nice day.
Why can't you explain more what you meant to say?
A Somali refugee who joined Michigan's Rashida Tlaib as the first Muslim woman to ever serve in the House, Omar has long criticized the Israeli government, but has said she respects the Jewish people.
It's the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it and the resolution is agreed to, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Does that remind you of anything? McCarthy yanked Omar off Foreign Affairs to pay back Pelosi for yanking his people off committees. He didn't want to do it, doesn't think it's right, but he had to do it. You can't let Democrats boot your boys off committees and turn the other cheek. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. We'll just not let it happen again. Swalwell and Schiff got the boot from Intel because they're liars, leakers, and Chinese spy sleepers. And Ilhan got axed because of anti-Semitism. She called Israel evil and said, you know, Jews, it's all about the money. But Omar says she loves Jews, and she had no idea there was a thing with Jews and money.
I certainly did not or was not aware that the word hypnotize was a trope. I wasn't aware of the fact that there are tropes about Jews and money. That has been a very enlightening part of this journey.
I think Adam Schiff's Jewish. He's looking at her like, that's like me telling dumb blonde jokes and Dana getting upset. And I say, Dana, I never knew people tease blondes about their brains. Even I couldn't play that dumb. And it's easy for me. So
thanks for joining us. Crocodile tears. It's so sad. That's the focus of tonight's angle.
Republicans removed Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from the Foreign Affairs Committee. Another example of House Republicans putting the show ahead of any kind of policy agenda.
A blatant double standard is being applied here. And what is the difference between Rep. Omar and these members? Could it be the way that she looks?
It's a political stunt, and it is a disservice to the American people.
What a hideous miscarriage of justice. A majority power exercising influence over House committee assignments. Wow.
I am not going to sit here and be judged for not wanting to honor any legacy this man has left behind.
One of the
video where it called him Dr. Frankenstein and said his monster shot him through the neck. I mean, obviously this is a person, and looking at this is someone who was a husband and a father, and in the days after his shocking death, that happened as a result of his views, or it happened as a result as he was sharing his views publicly with people, that people found it jarring to hear such criticism of that in the immediate aftermath of
what I find jarring is that there are so many people willing to excuse the most reprehensible things that he said, that they agree with that they're willing to have monuments for him, that they want to create a day to honor him and that they want to produce resolutions in the House of Congress honoring his life and legacy. It is one thing to care about his life because obviously so many people loved him, including his children and wife. But I am not going to sit here and be judged for not wanting to honor any legacy this man has left behind. That should be in the dustbin of history, and we should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
I'm actually
political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
Many Jewish Democrats outraged.
Jews have dual loyalty and can't be patriotic members of the country in which they live? Words matter.
The firestorm sparking a deep divide among House Democrats. Some progressives defending Omar, who's Somali American, pointing to anti-Muslim slurs against her, like this poster in West Virginia. Fellow freshman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeting, "Anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and all bigotry serve the same ends."
This was a poster, Fred, associating Omar with the 9/11 terrorist attacks, and written on that poster, as you can see, the words, "I am proof you have forgotten." And this was, again, on display at a table in West Virginia State House at a Republican-sponsored public event. So you can imagine this also caused a major firestorm there in the State House.
Josh Gottheimer was among several Democrats urging swift action to address what they called hateful speech after the tweet by the Capitol Hill newcomer suggesting American support for Israel is fueled by money. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Then further implying the powerful pro-Israel lobby group AIPAC had bought support of her colleagues in Congress. Senator Chuck Schumer wrote, "This kind of intolerance has no place in Congress or in anywhere in American society."
It's wrong. And it should stop.
While Republicans called for her to be removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spoke with the freshman under fire and called her comments anti-Semitic and deeply offensive. It was after that that the 37-year-old from Minnesota issued a statement saying anti-Semitism is real. "This is why I unequivocally apologize."
Those are a winery in California and a venture capital firm. Combined, the Free Beacon reports that the companies had been worth only about $51,000 at the end of 2023. It should be noted that while the company's values increased, the disclosures do not show the couple taking any income from the venture capital firm, and reported between $5,000 and $15,000 in income from the winery.
But the skyrocketing value is under scrutiny. The Spectator contributor David Seifer Jr. wrote, quote, "Omar's financial disclosure is more than a tabloid headline. It's a cultural moment. Here is one of the loudest critics of capitalism, now sitting on the kind of wealth that capitalism makes possible."
Rising has reached out to Congresswoman Omar's office. Meanwhile, on Blue Sky, various users were downplaying the report and said there was nothing suspicious about the situation, and Omar was doing nothing more than listing her husband's growing wealth.
Right, it is her husband's wealth.
It is.
For instance, in the